Please welcome Governor Charlie Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. You're here for him, okay? I'm just the warm-up to the next act here. So when I heard the Lieutenant Governor say earlier that Marty used to deliver 96 papers a day, I leaned over to him and I said, God, those Sunday papers, they were brutal, weren't they? They were. And they taught you a lot about creativity, ingenuity, and when you only weigh 65 pounds, how you're actually going to deliver a cumulative value of 2,000 pounds in an hour and 20 minutes on a Sunday morning. There's been a lot said today, and I thought about that, and I looked at where I was on the agenda, and I thought, well, I'm not a poet. And I decided that I would use a sports analogy because obviously that's what I'm most comfortable with. Marty Meehan is a 5-tool player, okay? So let me explain that a little. Clarity. From the minute he showed up on the campus at UMass Lowell in 2007, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he was perfectly happy to share that with anybody who would listen. The Lowell people know what I'm talking about. But there's power in that. There's power in knowing exactly what it is you want to achieve and not being afraid to talk about it and worry about whether or not you'll be able to pull it all off. And from the very beginning, he knew where he was going and what he wanted to do. Second tool is follow through. An A plan with a D execution is a D plan. All the great ideas, all the clarity in the world, if you can't actually deliver, don't amount to much at all. And as several people have already said today, and as anybody who's visited that campus in the past couple of years knows, Marty knows about follow through. Now, my favorite follow-through story about Marty is the St. Patrick's Day breakfast in Lowell. I've been there several times with all of the great people of Lowell. Marty is never there. It's March. He's fundraising in Florida. But he really is fundraising in Florida. And one of the great things Marty did over the course of his career there was he followed through. Every single time he came up with a new idea about we should do this or we should do that or we should build this or we should build that, people would say, great idea, Marty, but money's not going to be there, it's too complicated logistically, you'll never get the permission. And he just followed through relentlessly. Over and over and over again. Third tool, collaboration. Do you know anybody that doesn't call this guy Marty? He and I spoke the other day at a STEM conference, and somebody said, should we call you President Meehan or should we call you Marty? And he said, no one calls me anything but Marty. That's because really great leaders have the ability to walk in everybody's shoes. They have the ability to see the world through other people's eyes and to find out how that vision that they're so anxious to pursue can become somebody else's. I don't know if he learned it in Congress, I don't know if he learned it on the streets of Lowell, but somewhere along the line, Marty learned how to collaborate. And in every single thing he's done over the course of his career, it has served him well and made the organizations that he's been part of better. And the final tool is leadership.
People want to follow this guy. In everything he's ever taken on, there's always been a band around him and behind him, buying into what he was selling and charging full speed ahead. And most of the time, when you would say to them, "Why are you in on this latest cockamamie idea?" And they would just look and they'd say, "You know, Marty, I really don't have a choice." But they would mean it in the most positive way possible. And the final one, energy. I've probably conducted, 10,000 interviews in my life. And I can tell the difference between somebody who's going through the motions when they're talking to me about something and somebody who's so fired up they can hardly stand it. They're literally like ready to burst out of their skin. When Marty used to talk about Lowell, it's like he was on fire. Try and stand away, get hit by the flame. It was the same way when you talk to him about UMass. This guy doesn't see this as a step to something else. He doesn't think about it as another feather in his cap. He's not doing this for the prestige and the glory. He wants to do the job. Really wants to do the job. There's nothing more powerful anywhere, ever, than somebody who wants to do the job. They will stay awake all night trying to find the coalitions they need to be successful. They will find a way and a path to get what they want to get done. They will find the friends. They will find the path. They'll make it happen. This guy brings clarity. He follows through. He has tremendous energy. He's a collaborator and a leader. He's the ultimate five-tool player. And we are all enormously lucky to have him as the next president of the University of Massachusetts. Thank you.